Welcome back to What's on Watches. Horology never fails to get you guys excited, so today we're putting the best against the best. The Vacheron Constantin Overseas versus the Patek Philippe Nautilus. Now, the Vacheron Constantin Overseas is a real favourite of the team here at What's on Watches, and we've actually covered this watch before in a previous video, so please go and check that out. But it may surprise you that we like the watch so much, because it's not to our usual taste. It's not vintage in terms of case size proportions, and Vacheron Constantin described the watch as elegant, but truthfully, I wouldn't agree with that. There is a clear reason why we love the Overseas, and that reason is because it's a testament to true iconic watchmaking design. For example, the one we have here today is the Blue Dial Overseas chronograph, reference 5500V/110A-B148. But if we just take a moment to look at this watch again, it is a work of art. It is a large watch. It clocks in at 42.5mm with a depth of 13.7mm. That's not Breitling Chronomat 47mm, but on anybody's wrist, it still packs a punch. It is a large watch. The watch is powered by the 5200 automatic caliber by Vacheron Constantin, made up of 263 hand-finished components and sealed with the hallmark of Geneva, and it can be seen beautifully through the open case back. But this is all well and good. You're probably looking at this saying, okay, cool, it's another steel sports watch. I need something with more oomph, and that's why the next watch is the real star of the show. This is the brand new Vacheron Constantin Overseas in solid 18 karat pink gold. So what is pink gold? Well, pink gold is used on the 42.5mm case and of course on the solid gold bracelet. And pink gold is a specific type of alloy. It's actually a purer form of gold compared to rose gold. It uses less copper, giving this watch a much warmer glow. Again, it uses the exact same 5200 movement as its steel brother. And the 5200 movement allows for complications which you can see on the dial, such as dates, hours, minutes, seconds, chronograph minutes, and all them other lovely complications. But the thing I really love is of course the open case back. You can see the 22 karat gold rotor that is beautifully decorated with the Maltese cross. The other thing that Vacheron has done absolutely perfectly with these Overseas models is of course the blue dial. The blue dial is the most popular variant, and it makes complete sense why they've offered the blue dial in this rose gold model. As you can see, it has a lacquer finish with the sub-dials with a sunburst satin effect, and the way that this dial plays in the light is second to none. Looking at the watch is a beautifully elegant experience. The other great thing that Vacheron have done with all of their Overseas models recently is offer a quick strap change system, and the watch as standard comes with both rubber, leather, and of course the metal bracelet. And the straps are really easy to change. With just the pull of the two latches on the back, you can achieve a completely different look to your watch in a matter of seconds. We have a demo strap in this rather fruity orange colour with the steel Overseas clasp on it, but it's really simple to do. With a pop here and a pop here, you simply take the strap off, and to pop on the new strap, one click there, and voila, you have a completely different watch. On the wrist, it is of course a beast of a watch. This watch weighs in over 1/4 kilo in solid 18 karat pink gold. So of course, it's going to feel incredibly heavy. However, it doesn't feel unwearable. Although I'm wearing it now and I can feel it's there, it's not too heavy. It doesn't feel like it shouldn't be there. And especially when you change it onto the rubber or leather strap, once you've made that change, it just feels like any other watch. But if you want people to notice that you're wearing a solid gold Overseas, you really have to wear it on the solid gold bracelet. It is second to none. Steel case, solid gold case. How much is this watch going to set you back? Well, the steel model actually retails for around £30,000. The 18 karat pink gold model is double that, actually over double that. This one clocks in at £70,000. £2,000. Now again, a lot of you will be saying, yeah, that's if I can buy one. Well, resale values actually aren't too bad compared to the retail. For the steel model, you'll be looking at around £35,000 to £40,000 on the second-hand market. For the rose gold model, well, this is boutique only, and it has only been launched in the last few months. So resale values are quite difficult to gauge. But in my opinion, and from the other pieces I've seen online, you should expect to find these priced between £80,000 to £90,000. If resale values are your main topic of conversation, and if it is resale values that you really focus on, then sadly the Overseas needs to take a step to the side, and I need to introduce this, the Patek Philippe Nautilus. Now the particular Patek Philippe Nautilus that we have here today is the Nautilus 5980/1AR. So back in 1976, Patek Philippe launched the first reference of the Nautilus, which was the 3700, and it was designed by the legendary designer Gerald Genta, the same man that designed the Royal Oak. Patek first were introduced to Gerald Genta in 1974, and he presented his first ever drawing for something completely revolutionary in Patek Philippe history. Patek Philippe were not known for making steel sports pieces. Patek Philippe were known for making beautifully refined, elegant dress watches. When they launched the Nautilus, it was completely revolutionary. The design takes inspiration from portholes, and as you can see with this watch that we have here, the bezel even has hinges and latches just like a porthole does. The initial reaction to the Nautilus was quite mixed. It was incredibly expensive, £3,000 more than the Royal Oak. It was 42mm, it was too big, and it was made of steel. When everybody else was making 34mm gold pieces, here come Patek Philippe with a steel watch worth more than most people's car. But thankfully, over time, the Nautilus grew in popularity. The first 5980 was introduced back at Barworld in 2013. Now this watch clocks in at only 40.5mm, quite a little bit smaller than the Overseas that we previously looked at. The other great thing I absolutely love about this watch though is the colour of the dial. The colour is of course a hue of blue, but Patek really decided to give the bicolour option some oomph and made this blue a much brighter tone compared to the original. The way that this dial plays in the light gives a Vacheron a run for its money, but I'll let you guys decide which one looks best. On the dial, you have applied rose gold markers with lume in them, and you have a mono chronograph dial right down there at the bottom. It's like having two watch faces on one watch. Patek have also experimented with different types of finishing when it comes to the bracelet and the bezel. You have a brushed finish, and the bevel is finely polished, and it's the same with the bracelet. Center links are of course solid 18 karat rose gold, and again the steel parts are a brushed finish as well. What does this mean? It means that every time you move the watch, you get a completely different style looking back at you. To be honest, this is one of the best finished modern watches on the market at the moment, which you should expect considering the price. This watch is powered by the 28-520C chronograph movement. The movement is made up of 327 components, compared to the mere 263 that is found in the Vacheron, so Patek wins on this one. However, I have one criticism with this watch. It's how you set the date. With the Vacheron, it's simple. Everything is set through the crown as you would expect from a modern watch. But Patek still make you set the date on this watch using a pusher, which I know traditionalists do enjoy, but for me, it's a little bit fiddly and dare I say, a little bit annoying, so the point goes to Vacheron on that one. On the wrist, it doesn't carry as much weight and whack as the solid gold Overseas does, but that's to be expected. This is the bicolour option. Overseas is solid 18 karat pink gold. I believe that the solid 18 karat rose gold option of this would of course compare to the Overseas. On the wrist, truthfully I feel it sits a little bit better, but of course I prefer smaller case sizes. The 40.5mm case just sits perfectly, and the way that the bracelet molds to the wrist it's sublime. Because this has solid 18 karat rose gold centre links, the bracelet feels a lot more firm, where sometimes on the normal Nautilus, the bracelet can feel a little bit flimsy. Of course, on the wrist, it doesn't have that same whack as the Overseas does, but the Nautilus case shape is more iconic. I feel like this would get more recognition. I'll let you decide if that's a good thing or not. Now, this bicolour Nautilus retails for £63,000, so £7,000 less than the solid gold Overseas. However, the solid gold equivalent of this watch retails for £8,000. £80,000, so £10,000 more than the Overseas. This is all well and good, you can compare, is it worth it, is it not? But where these watches really come into their own is simply the resale value. This watch here resells for between £110,000 and £120,000. The solid gold equivalent, £180,000 to £200,000. I think Patek might win on that one. So which one would you choose? Please let us know in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.